Schedule and audio check. I said it was echoing. Yeah, mic test 1 2 3 3 2 1. Mic test. Yeah, my audio is okay, right? Very well. Hi there, if you're joining, welcome and thank you for joining us. Please give me a couple of minutes while we sort out the technical details while you're waiting. Do some warm-up because the warm-up after this will be pretty short. We'll start soon.
Remove the keys. Go to more options. All your messages are coming in. No, you have to go back to your Ashihara. No, as in when you have a message, you can feel on
Hello, welcome back. Today's class is elementary class for Ashihara Karate. We are doing the training to you live from the Lionheart Academy in Singapore. If you're one of our participants, welcome back to training. It's unfortunate that training cannot happen because of the physical closures of our dojos, but it is no excuse to stop training for everyone. Therefore, we are providing this free live sessions so that wherever you are, you can still join us for your weekly training. For those who are not part of our club, it doesn't matter. Do feel free to just join us for your regular workouts. And if you're here for the first time, welcome. This session is an elementary session. We promise as much as we can that it's going to be as easy to follow as possible. I don't think you'll be needing a lot of space, so just make sure that you have ample space around you. A useful tip is probably if you have a towel or a mop wherever you're at, so that in case the floor gets wet from your sweat, you can easily wipe them dry. Okay. Before we start, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Rush, and I'm one of the instructors for Ashihara in Singapore. And assisting me today is...
Hi, I'm Cheryl.
Yeah, and Cheryl will be assisting me today. Okay, so let's begin. So for today's session, we're going to be covering a lot of the basics. Let's focus on the form for our practice today. Having said that, we will start with the warming up, as well as some basic exercises before we move on to some of the simple techniques that you can practice by yourself or with your partner if you're there with a partner at home. Okay, so to begin, let's go to a Seiza position. Okay, Seiza. Alright, whenever you hear Seiza, it basically goes to the traditional Japanese kneeling position, which looks like this. Sit tall, have a good posture. For your hands, clench your fists. Place it at the top of your lap, and we do a bow to the front. Okay, bow to the front, shoulder ready. Okay, we'll do a short session of so-called meditation. So when I say so, close your eyes, relax, and focus on your breathing. Okay, just to realign your mind towards the upcoming training. Are you ready? So. Until then, you can open up your eyes. Alright, let's bow to each other. And those of you who are joining us on this class today. Alright, once again, wait. Okay, if you stop. Alright, so let's warm up our body before we move on to the stretching. Okay, let's everybody jump on the spot. Okay, loosen out your body. Try to get the blood flow going. Get a bit of sweat so that your muscles are ready to go for the punches and kicks. When I say go, lift up your knee to your chest and do a quick sprint on the spot. Alright? Okay, ready. Go! Okay, relax. Once more. Go! And relax. Okay, a couple more on this one. Ready. Go! And relax. Okay, last one. Go! Okay, and relax. Okay, keep dragging on the spot. This time, when I say up, you're going to do a tuck jump like this. Okay, when I say down, you're going to do what we call a burpee. Okay, a burpee is like this. And you come up here. Alright, if you do make a mistake, just do 5 push-ups as a punishment. Alright? Okay, ready? Up! Up, down, up. Sorry, that's 5 push-ups. Cheryl is being a good example of this week. How far the game is supposed to go. Are you ready? Down, up, down. Nice. Down. Down. Okay, catch your breath, recover. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, take a deep breath in. And out. In. And out. 2 more. In. And out. Last come in. And out. Okay, relax. I hope you're warmed up enough, sweating a little bit. Let's move on to some stretching. Okay? Have your feet shoulder width apart. Hands hold on to your belt. If you don't have one, Just put your hands on your hips. You have your right foot, on both feet at the same time. You're going to curl your 4 little toes and then the big toe. 4 toes, big toe, okay? Alternately for 10 counts. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Have your right foot forward for the same exercise. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yes.
Lift up your knee at the shoulder level. If you can't balance as well, just hold on to something or someone. Okay? You're going to rotate your lower leg. Okay? Let's do this for 6 counts. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Reverse. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
Okay? Push your heel forward. When you do this, try to feel the stretch along your calf. Alright? Point the ball of the foot down. When you do this, curl your toes up. Just point the ball of the foot downwards. Curl your toes down. This time, feel the stretch at the top of your foot. And turn your foot sideways so that you show the blade of your foot like this. Okay? And lightly flick your leg forward for 10. Reach, knee, side, chin, go, look, sit, touch, chin.
Yes.
Alright. This time I'm going to count in Japanese as what you have heard on the last 10 counts just now. Same exercise for your left foot. Okay, ready? Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ki.
Yes.
Lift up your knee and rotate your lower leg. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. Ruk hantai, opposite direction. Ich, ni, san, shi, go.
Yes.
Okay, push your heels forward. Once more, feel a stretch in your calf. Point the ball of the foot down, curl your toes up at this point in time. Curl your toes down, feel the stretch on the top of your foot. Turn the foot sideways, show the blade of your foot. Okay, and lightly flick your leg forward. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ki.
Yes.
Good job. Okay, have your feet together, hands on your knees. You're gonna do knee rotation like this. Okay, 4 counts. Ich, ni, san, shi. Okay, reverse ready. Ich, ni, san, shi.
Yes.
Have your feet shoulder width apart again, hands on your knees. Okay, you're gonna squat down for 2 counts. 1, 2, up for another 2 counts. 1, 2, and then we'll go down again. Okay, and ready. Down, ich, ni, up, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ki. Good. Have your feet further apart, just slightly wider than your shoulders. Hands on your hips or on your belt. This exercise will be in 4 counts, and the 4 counts go like this for each direction. Okay, we always start from the left side, most of the time. Okay, so count number 1 is where you have your left foot pointing to the left. All right. Count number 2, bend your left knee this way. Count number 3, you'll do a squat on your left this way. As you do this, make sure your other toes are pointing up. Count number 4, come up to face the front. Okay. I'll do for the right side as an example. So 1, turn to your right. 2, bend your front knee. 3, squat on your right. 4, come out and face the front. Okay? 4 counts for 4 sets. Okay, starting from the left, alternate directions. Okay? To the left, ready. Ich, ni, san, shi, right. Ni, san, shi, left. San, ni, san, shi, right. Yon, ni, san, shi.
Yes.
Okay, and relax. This time we're going to do splits with your legs. If you're not sufficiently warmed up yet, just go as wide as you can, but don't force yourself to the extent that you get injured. But for those who are already flexible, ready to go, by all means, do please push yourself, okay? So hold yourself by your hands, or if you can, by your fists, and spread your legs apart. All right, let's go. Okay, hold this position for 10 counts. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ki.
Yes.
Okay, move your body forward, having your toes down. This time, ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ki.
Yes.
Move your body back, toes still pointing down. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, ki.
Yes.
Alright, good. Okay. Now turn to your right. Okay, turn to your right to make sure that you're fully stretched to one side. Have your left knee on the floor, your right toes pointing up, and one hand on each side, okay? Hold this position for 10 counts, really. H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, kyu, hey! Alright, we'll go to the other side on the left, this time 10, really. H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, kyu, and ju. Okay, face the front. Okay, open out your legs as far as you can. Okay, slowly lower your bum to the floor and eventually you'll sit down. Okay? At this point in time, open out your legs as far as you can. And this is one of the objectives for training if you're doing karate or personal development for yourself. You did not go all the way up at the very beginning. So if you're just starting out, there is no need for you to set an ambition that I'm going to do split in my first go. That's probably unrealistic. But what's important is that for every session, whenever you tune in or whenever you go for your classes, okay, have an aim or an objective for yourself. Okay, if today you're starting off like this, next time when you come back to class, several inches wider, and eventually, lesson number 5 or lesson number 10, you should have your legs significantly wider apart, and that's what we call improvement. Okay, so the aim for your training is not 100% at try number 1, okay, but it's improvement every time you attempt. Okay, and that's what we call personal development as well. Okay, so at this point in time, have your legs as far as you can with your toes pointing up. We're gonna reach for the left foot, okay? When you do stretching like this, it's quite important to keep your posture straight, so that means have your back straight as you reach for your foot, okay? So on my count, reach for your left foot with both hands if you can, okay? To your left and down. Alright, H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, kyu, yes. Alright, we'll go to your right. This time to your right foot for 10 counts, down really. H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, kyu, yes. Alright, good. Okay, open out your legs wider as you go. So again, keep your back straight. This time, as we go through the stretching is going to get more and more intense. I want you to be able to coordinate your breathing to help you relax, okay? So the idea is that the more relaxed you are, the further you can push for a stretch, okay? There's a hidden benefit for this also. At the point where your stretch is at a maximum, you are facing a lot of stress to your body and to your mind. Remembering to breathe will help you to manage your stress a lot better, okay? So in this case, keep your back straight, breathe in, and when you breathe out, you proceed the stretch, okay? So open our legs as far as you can. We're going to reach forward with our back straight. Again, breathe in. And breathe out, stretch forward. Okay, for 10 counts, H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, kyu, hey! Alright, great. Okay, have your feet together this time. Okay, with your feet together, toes pointing up, and without bending your knees, you're going to reach for your feet. Okay, again, have a good posture. Breathe out as you do the stretch. Okay, breathe in. And breathe out. 10 count to H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, sich, hach, kyu, hey! Okay, good. Have your right foot on top of your left leg. This time, your right hand will hold on to the ankle, the other hand on your toes. You're going to rotate your foot forward, okay, for 6 count to H, knee, san, shi, go, ruk, reverse H, knee, san, shi, go. Okay, stretch your toes up, bend them down. Bring your foot to your hip, hold on to your foot with your left hand, and with your right hand, hold on to your knees. Use your body weight to push your knees towards the floor. Okay, for 6 count, H, knee, san, shi, go. Yes. Alright, okay. With your back straight, you're going to bring your foot over your head or as much as you can. Alright, okay. Right foot over your head and go. Alright, relax. Okay, good job. Move on to the left side. Okay, so left hand on the ankle, right hand on your toes, rotate your foot forward for 6 count H, knee, side, shi, go. Rook, reverse reach, knee, side, shi, go.
Yes.
Okay, stretch your foot up, stretch your toes up, okay, bend them down. Okay, bring your foot closer to your hip again. Left hand on your knees, use your body weight, bring your knee to the floor. Okay, what this does is it stretches your hip flexors. Flexible hip flexors are quite important when you want to do kicks or movement in general. Okay, so it's good for your general health as well. If you're not doing karate anyway. Okay, bring your knees to the floor. Okay, downward edge, knee, side, shi, go.
Yes.
Okay, foot over your hip. Alright, and stop. Okay, tucking your feet together. And as you pull your feet in, you want to pull your back straight as well. And we help ourselves to improve our postures like this. Okay, same as before, breathe in, breathe out, and bring your chest to the feet. Okay, down. Reach, knee, sun, shi, go. Rook, sich, touch, cue.
Yes.
Alright, up. Okay, flat the legs. Okay, as you flat the legs, gradually try to touch the floor with your legs. Okay, so this is what we call dynamic stretching. Okay, bit by bit, we stretch the muscles and tendons to achieve better flexibility. Alright, okay. We're going to get to our fours. Okay, our fours means be on our hands and our feet and spread out your legs as you do this. Alright, let's go. So you can hold yourself with your flat hands. If you want to, go on your fingers. If you want to, go on your fists. Okay? But if you're just starting out, laying on your hands is fine. Okay? We're going to do diving push-ups. Okay? So dive forward, lower your chest to the floor. As you come up, you look up to the ceiling. Okay? We'll do this for 4 counts. Okay, 4 counts for you. Itch. Come back. 8. Come back. 3. Back.
Yes.
Alright, good. Okay, and your feet up. Okay, I'd like you to stand with your legs apart, okay, wider than your shoulders. You're going to interlock your fingers, place them behind your hip. This is dual movement. Okay, so you're going to rock your body up and down like this. Okay, so the count will be 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. As you rock your body, you're going to close your feet one at a time. Okay? So meaning, close your feet when you come down, close your heel when you come up, close your feet, close your heel, close your feet, close your heel. At the end of the count, you should have your feet together with your body straight like this. Okay? Let's try it. Okay, toe our fingers, have them behind your head. Rock your body back and forth as you close your feet. Okay, for 10 counts, ready, go, itch. Knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, touch, cue.
Yes.
Okay, if you haven't already, have your feet together. Okay, twist your body to your left, right, left, and right. Okay? You're going to touch your feet and your heels on alternate counts without bending your knees. Okay? It will look like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, so on and so forth. Okay? Feet together, touching your toes and your heels. Okay, for 10 counts down. Go. Pitch, 8, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, touch, cue.
Yes.
Have your feet apart. Okay, you're going to touch your opposite toes again without bending your knees. Okay, for 10 counts. Go. Reach, knee, sun, shi, go, rook, sich, touch, cue.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to rotate your upper body on alternate directions. Okay, we'll do this for 4 counts, alright? So an example would be 1, towards your right, 2, towards your left, and then you repeat for 4 counts, alright? Okay, let's go. Ready, hitch. 8, 3, 8.
Yes.
Alright, good job. Okay, come back up again, hands on your hips or your belt. I want you to bring your right foot to the back. Okay, as you bring your right foot to the back, have your feet or your toes pointing forward so that you'll be stretching your right calf, okay? So right foot to the back, stretch your right calf. Okay. All right, change. Left foot to the back, toes pointing forward, stretch your left calf. All right, and come back up. Okay, in this position, tilt your hip to the right, left, up, and up. And relax. Okay, we're gonna go to gasho. Gasho means a traditional prayer position. If you pray like this, or some people pray like this. Okay, so this is what we call a gasho position. For this exercise, we're gonna start with your hands together and putting them down like this. Okay, this is both the stretching exercise as well as a breathing exercise. Okay, for me, the most important part is the breathing bit. Okay. It goes like this, okay? Whenever you bring your hands in, you breathe in through your nose. Whenever you bring your hands out, you breathe out through your mouth. Again, and come back here, and up, okay? So one set will look like this. Okay, and whenever you bring your hands in, bring them in as much as you can so that you stretch along your shoulders as well as your scapula, which is the curve of your back. Okay, let's do this for 4 sets. Okay, ready, hitch. 8, 7, 8. Alright, good job. Have your fingers against each other, elbows out, press in, and go. Yeah, and shake and loose. Last bit, get into our fingers, stretch downwards. Reach, knees and chin to the middle. Knees and chin up, side, knees and chin to the left. Right. Get to your left again, have a good stretch on your sides of the body. And right. Okay, stop. So into our fingers behind you, this way. Stretch downwards, reach, knees and chin bend forward. Up, twist your left, right, left, and right. Finally recover and now back. Okay, we are done with stretching. Before we go on to the basic punches and kicks, we're going to do some basic breathing exercises with some hand movements. Okay. For this next set, I would like you to go into what we call parallel stance. Okay, parallel stance means having your feet shoulder width apart and then pointing your toes forward so that your feet are parallel to each other. Okay? So once you have this alignment between your feet, slightly bend your knees so that your weight is suspended by your legs, okay? So that you feel more balanced, okay? Because you lower your center of gravity down. Alright? So have a parallel stance with your legs. For your hands, we're going to cover the left side first. Whenever you cover a side, in this case the left side, use your opposite hand to go inside. The hand on the same side will be outside, okay? So again, if I'm covering the left, opposite hand in, hand on the same side outside, okay? How much you should cover, I should not be able to see your face if I look at you from the side. So in this case, okay, it should be fully covered like this, alright? So that's covering for the left. Likewise, if you're covering for the right, your left hand is going to go inside first, and then your right hand is going to go outside, okay? So you cover your right like this, okay? Let's start with covering the left side. Okay, so you come to this position. Okay? The hand movements, if you're just starting out, it might be a little bit confusing. So if it's too confusing for you to follow, forget about it. Focus on the breathing exercise. Okay, like I said, the breathing bit is the most important, at least to me. Okay? The hand will be like this. So the inside hand is going to go up. The outside hand is going to go down. So simultaneously, it will look like this. Okay? Alright? So that's the first movement. Continue with that trajectory or direction. Okay? Until your left hand comes up, your right hand comes in front of your groin. So basically, both hands at the center. At this position, bring them to the sides of your chest. And then from here, you push it out again. Okay? Let's repeat one more time. So inside hand goes up, outside hand goes down. One circle to the center, bring to your chest, and then push them to the center again. After this, we'll switch to the other side, okay? The idea is the same for the other side. Inside hand goes up, outside hand goes down, so make a full circle to the sides of the chest, come back to the center, and push it to the front. Those are the hand movements, okay? Coordinate your breathing as you do this. As you make a circle, breathe in through your nose. As you push your hands out, breathe out through your mouth, okay? So basically, breathe in, and breathe out. Covering your right, breathe in, and breathe out. Okay? I hope that's simple enough to follow. Last detail, we want to breathe, we want to be able to breathe fully, okay? To breathe fully, when you breathe in through your nose, expand your tummy so that you bring in as much air as you can into your body. Whenever you breathe out, contract your tummy, blow out or exhale out as much air as you can. So in this way, we fully breathe in and then we fully breathe out, okay? So let's try that in full, pushing forward. Okay, ready? H. Cover your right, same thing, D. Cover your left, same thing, Sa. Cover your right, E.
Yes.
Alright, good job. This time we're going to incorporate the breathing exercise with some stretching, okay? So breathe in as before. You're going to turn your body or bend your body to your right. One hand on top, one hand below, and as you breathe out, take a chance to stretch, okay? Same thing when you're pushing to the left side, okay? So let's cover the left, pushing to the right, really. H. Cover your right, A. Push to the left, cover your left to the right, Sa. Cover your right to the left, E.
Yes.
Okay, good. We're going to incorporate with twisting motions this time. So breathe in, twist towards your right and push to the back. And you'll do the same for the other direction, okay? So covering your left, pushing to the back by turning towards your right. Okay, ready? H. Cover your right, pushing to the back towards your left. A. Cover your left, same as before, Sa. E.
Yes.
Alright, okay, last but not least, we're going to use bending action to fully exhale out the air that we breathe in, okay? So this time, breathe in, bend forward and breathe out. Okay, basically push towards the floor. Let's try, ready? H. Cover your right, A. Cover your left, Sa. Cover your right, E.
Yes.
Cover your left, okay. Make sure your form is correct, parallel stance, that's covering your left. And finally, you recover, and now that.
Yes.
Pose. Yeah, relax your body. Okay, so that is the end of our warm-up and stretching. We're gonna start with some basic punches and kicks. When we do basic punches first, we're gonna be standing in a stance called Sanchin stance, okay? Sanchin stance looks something like this. So your feet roughly will be at your shoulder width, alright? So once you have the width correct, okay, your right foot step halfway in front of your left, okay? So this way, alright? So if you look at my feet, they are currently at the same position. When we go to Sanchin stance, by default, the right leg forward. Have your right foot halfway in front of the left, okay? So that is the position of your feet, okay? So right foot halfway in front of your left. Once you have that, the direction of your toes either pointed both to the front, so basically parallel to each other with your right foot at the front, or if you prefer, have your toes pointing in, alright? Regardless how you choose to point your toes, this is the most important bit. Yeah, I want you to be able to bend your knees inwards, okay? The analogy that I like to use is that imagine you have a rubber ball between your knees. If I put a rubber ball here and you bend your knees, you should be able to hold on to the rubber ball, okay? So when we say sunching stance, I would like you to be standing this way. Why do we stand this way? To practice punches. There's a lot of reasons behind this. We'll talk about it next time. If you want to know the reason in detail, just leave a comment. We'll give you some information about why we stand like that. But for now, because this is an elementary class, it is so that you can stand as balanced as possible without falling off and practice your basic punches. Okay? And it helps you strengthen your legs as well. Okay? So that is the basic reasons. Okay? And all of us do this. Alright? So that is the sunching stance. Later on, if I want you to stand on the left sunching stance, it's just the direct opposite. Left foot forward, toes forward, slightly bend your knees, and imagine you have a rubber ball in between your knees. Basically, just suspend your weight or sit down in that particular stance. Okay? So let's try for the right sunching stance. So just have your right foot in front of your left. Okay? And this is for the legs. Okay? What happens to the hands then? Okay? Before the hands, of course, keep a good posture with your back. For the hands, clench your fists and make something like a V with your forearm. Okay? But if you hold it like this, you feel that it's going to be too tight in your chest. So place it in front a little bit. As a guideline, your fists should be about your shoulder width, and your elbows should be just in front of your ribs. Okay? So you can see the difference. If my fists are too high, it will look like this. Too low, it will look like this. Okay? So somewhere at the shoulder level will be in this way. If my elbows are out, okay, it will no longer be a V. Okay? It will be like a parallel position. Okay? So I want it to be in this position. Okay? So with this position of the arms and the legs is what we call sunching stance. Okay? So just hold on to this sunching stance. Okay? For the rest who are already practicing Ashihara karate, or if you're practicing karate that has a stance similar to this, let's do it properly. Okay? So we'll start with this position. Okay, cross block and get ready. Okay? Hey. Yes. Okay, go to sunching stance. Energy. Yo. Yes. Okay, take out the stance. Hey. Hat. Okay, so at this point, everybody should be ready at sunching stance. Okay? So once you take out the stance, learn to relax. It can be a little bit stiff and uncomfortable at first, but learn to relax while holding the structure. Okay? So from this position, cross your forearms, retract back your right fist. Okay? So your right fist will be at your ribs, your left will be in front. Okay, we're gonna do straight punches to the chest. When one hand goes out, the other hand pulls in. Likewise, again. Okay? For 4 counts, let's do it slow. Okay? For the next 10 counts, we speed up and kiai. Kiai means to shout. Alright? If you're not comfortable with shouting, okay, you feel that the cops will come to your place, then don't shout, but make sure you breathe out. Okay? Because it's gonna be exhausting. If you don't breathe out, you're gonna probably collapse or get tired too quickly. Okay? Middle punch to the chest, 10 counts, speed up. Ready? Kiai. Te. H. A. San. She. Go. Rok. Sich. Hutch. Q. Okay, point the fist to the face. This time, if just now was to the center, this is now to the face or high level. Okay, slow, 4. Ready? H. A. San. Okay, 10 counts, speed up again. Ready? H. A. San. She. Go. Rok. Sich. Hutch. Q. Okay, good. Okay, raise your fists and place them in front of your shoulders. Okay. Just a small safety point for you is that whenever you're punching or kicking, basically whenever you're striking something, okay, do not extend your limbs all the way out. Okay. When you do this at high speed, you will be jerking your joints, especially your shoulders and your elbows. Okay. In the long term, it's not going to be healthy for you. You will find that there's a lot of your joints starting to wear out. Okay. So basically, stop just 80% below the full extension. Okay, that should be okay. Anyway, when you do punch something or kick something, it's against the target. That target will stop the motion for you. But right now, there is no target. Nothing is going to stop it for you. You have to actively stop the punch or the kick yourself for your own safety. Okay. So for the next one, fist in front of your chest, keep your elbows down. We're going to punch to the chin, starting with the right hand. After the punch, immediately put it back to your shoulders, okay? So this is called punching to the chin, or agochi. Slow counts 4, ready? H, A, san, okay, 10 counts with shouting, speed up. Here, H, A, san, shake, go, rope, sit, punch, kick. Alright, good. Alright, so from here, have your fist and forearm together. Okay, reach out forward. Understand how far you are able to reach from here. So again, fist together, forearm together, reach out. This is your range, or the distance you can reach. And then bring it back in front of your chin. Okay. Next one we're going to do is called Orake Gabenuchi. That means using the back of the fist to hit somebody's face, okay, especially the nose. Okay. So it will go like this. 1, 2. Okay. In this view, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay. 4 counts slow. Back fist to the face. Ready? H, A. Breathe out as you go. Sound. Okay, 10 counts, speed up. Ready? Hey. H, A. Sound. Shake. Go. Rook. Sit. Touch. Kick. Alright. So last one for today, we're going to do roundhouse strike. Okay, which is going to be like this. For those of you who are practicing Ashihara karate, I am skipping some of the techniques because we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so for the last punching, okay, we'll go to roundhouse strike. So basically, have your left forearm in front of you, your right fist by your ribs. Okay, so the way you're going to do this is like this. This consists of 2 counts. 2 counts. All right. So the hand in front, make it vertical this way. So just turn your wrist, make your forearm vertical. While you're doing that, straighten your arm on your ribs. Okay? So basically, 1 is this. Okay? In this view, 1, 1. All right, 1. All right. So after this, the second count is to keep your vertical hand and to swing your extended hand. Swing, swing, swing. Try to bring your back fist towards your forehead, okay, but don't touch up to this point. Okay, so again, 1, 2. All right, again, 1, 2. We'll try for the other side. Okay, so the hand in front, make it vertical. The hand at the back, extended. Keep the front, swing the back. 2. Once more. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, for 4 counts, smoother this time. Okay, ready? H, A, san, hey. So this is called Mashioke, or round punch. Okay, speed up for 10 counts. Okay, hey, H, A, san, shake, go, rook, sit, punch, kick, hey. Alright, good. Okay, hold the position, recover, and alright. Okay, okay, breathing. Ready? H. Last count, A. Okay, relax. Okay, good job for those who are following along here at this point in time. Okay, if just now the practice was in Sanchin stance, we're going to go to what we call horse riding stance. Okay, horse riding stance will look like this. Right now my feet is at the shoulder width level. I want you to take one step out so that your feet are slightly wider than your shoulder. Have your toes pointing forward and then bend your knees. Okay? So if you come to this position, I want you to imagine that you're sitting on a horse. Okay? And that's why we call this stance the horse riding stance. Okay? In Japanese we call it kibarachi. So basically it's as if you're riding a horse. Okay? So this is for the legs. Okay? Your hands, just put it in front. Imagine you're holding to the reins of a horse. Okay? So it should somewhat mimic the riding of a horse. Okay? So this is why you're in this position. You can have your back straight as usual. Okay? And alright. Okay, let's do it in full, formally, for those who know. Here we go. Yo! Yes! Pick up the stance. Hey! Hey! Okay, so in your horse riding stance, bring your forearms together. Okay? Make sure that your forearm is parallel to the floor and pull back your right fist. Okay? So in this position. Alright? We're going to do what we call shita ski. Shita means from the bottom, ski means to thrust forward. Okay? So from this position, your keeping hand, thrust forward, pull it to the back slightly, thrust forward, pull it to the back slightly. Okay? 4 counts, we'll do it slow to familiarize ourselves with it. Okay, ready? H, B, san, E. Okay, speed up 10 counts. Okay, T, H, B, san, she, go, look, sich, hutch, Q, E. Alright, good. We're going to move to elbow strike. Okay, for elbow strike, have your fist somewhere in front of your collarbone so that the point of your elbow will be pointing somewhere in the front. Okay? Elbow strike will be like this, turn, elbow the other hand, turn, elbow the other side. Okay? So left elbow in front this time, 4 counts slow already. H, A, sa, E. Okay, speed up, we're shouting already. Okay, T, H, A, sa, she, go, look, sich, hutch, Q, E. Alright, let's take a chance to do some stretching. Okay, open up your feet wider apart and lower your butt close to the floor while keeping your knees straight. Okay? So when you do this, you're stretching your hip flexors. Like I mentioned before, it's important for you to be able to kick and with movement in general. Alright, okay, come on and recover. I know, right?
Yes.
Let's do some breathing. We itch. Last time. E. Okay, we're going to move on to the last part for the hand techniques. Okay, you're going to go to left Sanjin stance. Okay, if you remember, left foot halfway forward and hands to this position. Okay, left Sanjin stance today. Okay, right side of yo.
Yes.
My tail. Okay, we're going to do some receiving techniques or okay with your arms and hands. Okay, from this position, cross your forearm, turn your body, and raise your left forearm. Okay, so imagine a punch is coming to your face. Maybe you're using your forearm to deflect it like this. Okay, we're going to do it in 4 counts slowly. Ready? Itch. So turn your body. Your keeping hand will somewhat intersect at the center, and with the incoming punch, deflect it away. Okay? Let's try it. D. Sa. E. Okay, 10 counts, speed up really. Okay. T. H. A. Sa. She. Go. Rook. Sich. Hutch. Q. E. Alright, we're going to do uchi-uke, or blocking from the inside. Okay? So like before, turn your body. The keeping hand will reach to the opposite hip. Imagine you're drawing a sword, and then as you cross the center, you turn your wrist out. Okay? So again, turn your body, reach for a sword, draw it out. As you cut the center, turn your wrist out. Basically, the idea is something like this. Okay? If a punch comes, you're using your forearm on the outside to deflect it out. Okay? So again, this is the action. Alright? For the other hand, when you turn your body, remember to cover your face. Okay? So this is the halfway point. Keep this one, draw this one. So again, halfway point, keep this one, draw this one. Okay? Let's try it for 4 counts, slowly. Ready? H, B, Sa, E. Okay, speed up shouting really. Okay. T, H, A, Sa, She, Go, Rook, Sich, Hutch, Q, E. Okay, last one for today is lower block, or we call it Girambarai. Okay, like before, the basics are the same. Okay, so turn your body. Instead of reaching to your hip, you're going to reach to the opposite side of your face. Okay, so reach to the opposite side of the face. Imagine a kick is coming to your body. Use that forearm and deflect the kick to the side. Okay, so once more, turn, reach to the side of your face, block it downwards. Again, turn, reach, deflect to the side. Okay, If you're new, just do that. If you have been practicing for a while, remember that this is a double block practice. So as you reach to the opposite side of the face, the trailing hand, okay, cover the side as well. So you have a double block up here, and you do a lower block downwards, okay? Again, 2, 3, slowly, and 4. Alright, we'll speed up for 10 counts. This time, ready? Here. 10, H, 8, 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, and now back. Okay, moving it. And 8. Okay, relax yourself, loose. We're just done with the basic hand techniques for today's practice. Let's take some time to do a little bit of stretching for your legs, because after this will be the kicks. Okay, you can feel free to do your own stretching. If you're not sure what to do, you can follow me. Okay. So for those of you who are following me, just have your feet together, hands to your knees, and bend your knees. Open up your knees as you do this. Okay, so basically you're just relaxing your hip flexors. Okay, come up. Okay, we'll do knee rotations. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4. The other direction. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Have your feet shoulder width apart or wider than your shoulders. In fact. Okay. Bend your knees. Straighten your right elbow as you drop your right shoulder. Okay. So basically, you're just straightening up or aligning your spine so that when you move later on, you won't be spraining anything. Okay, let's go to the other side. So left shoulder down. Okay, good. Elbows on your knees. Okay, right shoulder down. Okay, just relax as you do this. Okay, change. Okay, let go of your elbows. So once more, bring your back close to the floor and just stretch your hips out. Okay, and hips up. Okay, relax. So next, have your knee to touch your opposite elbow. Okay, so like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Next one, let's roll our knees 2 times inside and then 2 times outside. Okay. Starting on the left side. So in, right, in, out, out. Okay, good. Okay. And with your legs straight, okay. Go to the opposite direction as your arms. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and relax. Pause. Okay, we're going to do a stretching exercise called front rising kick. For this practice, I would like you to have your left foot forward, your right foot at the back. It's something like a forward stance of sorts. Okay. Hold on to your belt if you're wearing one. If not, just have your hands by your hips. So coming to this position. Okay. So this practice is to help you stretch. Okay. You're gonna swing your legs forward this way. As you do this, do not bend your knees. So have your knees straight like this, and your toes keep it flat like that as well. Okay. So I'm just doing it halfway as a demonstration. So 1 and 2. That is the first point. For the second point, I want you to pay attention to my pivoting foot, okay, or the foot on the floor. Right now, the toes are pointing forward. As you raise your legs, okay, I want you to be able to point your toes outwards, okay, so your legs can come up further, okay. So if your toes are just in front, this is probably the maximum point you can go until you feel there is a lock or restriction on your hip. For you to release that hip, you can point your toes outwards. So it will be something like this. 1 and 2. Alright? That's the second point, okay? To release your foot. The last point is I want you to again focus on your breathing. When you perform the action, breathe out so that you don't get exhausted unnecessarily. Okay? So let's do for the right side. Let's point 45 degrees to the left so we don't kick each other. Okay? 4 counts with the right leg. Okay, use the legs. H, A, side. Last one. E. Change legs. Same idea for the left leg. Okay, 4 counts. H, A, side. E. Change legs. So I hope you can feel the stretch along the back of your legs. If you're not feeling the stretch, it's probably because you are bending your knee, or you are flexible enough and you need to go higher to feel the stretch, okay? Which is a good thing, alright? So let's do it for 10 counts for the right leg, okay? Okay, right leg, 10 counts to the carry. 10, H, A, side, shade, go, look, sit, touch, kill, right, good. Change legs. So again, if it's your first time doing it, take it easy. Gradually, you just get better. Okay? Let's start 10 counts again. 10, H, A, side, shake, go, look, sit, touch, cue. Right, good. Face the front, recover. I know. Let's catch our breath within. And in. And in. And out. Last one in. And out. Good job. Let's do a parallel stance. Hands at your hips. We're going to do knee kicks. Basically, lift your knee up, touch your chest, and come down, okay? Doing it on alternate sides. Right, left, okay? 4 counts slow first, okay? Have a good form. Bring up the knee as high as you can. Okay, ready? H, A, side, E. Okay, speed up, we're shouting really here. 10, H, A, side, shake, go, look, sit, touch, kill, E. Alright. Okay, for the next kick, I want you to tap the ball of your foot this way. Okay, change over. So remember when we did our stretching, there is a part where you extend your foot with the toes pointing up, exposing the ball of your foot. That ball of the foot, I want you to just slightly tap on the floor. Okay, and relax. Because the next kick we're going to do is called Maigane, or front kick. In front kick, there is a lot of applications for front kick. For basics, the ball of the foot goes to the body in a straight trajectory. Okay, so from the parallel stance, you basically lift on your knee. Okay, ball of the foot goes to the body, pull it back, down. Okay, so from here, 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. All right. Okay. As a challenge to you who are just starting out, have the toes above your belt. Okay. For you to do that, your knees have to rise above your belt. Okay. So give it a try. So front kick for 4 counts. Maigane, slow. Ready. H, A, side. Okay, speed up. This time we need carry. Take. H, A, side, shake, go, look, sit, touch, kill. Okay, and relax. Okay. So this time stretch the top of your foot lightly. Alright, change. Okay, next, lift up your right knee by your side with your toes flattened down. That's what you see. Okay? If you can hold your knees without using your hands, then by all means do so. Okay? So it will be something like this position. Okay, down, left side. Okay, what I want you to check is that the knees regardless how high it is, must be pointing upwards. Okay? This is cheating, it's not good. Okay? Make sure the knees are pointing upwards. Okay? And down. Great. If the kick just now is going straight, the next kick is going to come from the side. Okay? We call this Ashihara. It's quite a common technique in a lot of punching, kicking martial arts. All right. So it translates to round kick, okay, or turning kick for some people. Okay. So basically the basics are from here, lift up your knee from the side, and then extend your foot, kick the head for the side, and bring it back down. All right. 4 counts slow. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, speed up. 10 counts. Carry. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I know that. Good job. Okay, look at it. 2, 3, 4. Good. Facing this direction again. We're going to do kicking to the sides this time. As a warm-up, will be some stretching exercise, okay? As you face the side, or whichever clearing you have your feet together. Transfer your hands to the center of the belt. If you don't have one, just place them in front of your belly somewhat. At this position, slightly bend your knees. The stretching exercise will be lifting up your legs sideways, okay? So to my right, for example, will be up, down. To my left will be up, down, okay? We'll do it on opposite directions, okay? Right, left, right, left. For 10 counts, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, alright. The last one we're going to do for today is called side kick or yokogeri. Basically, you're kicking to the side. And the same principle like the kicks before you extend your leg, you're going to bend your knees first, okay? So lift up your knees in front of you, alright? When you're ready to kick, watch the heel. The heel will point towards the target. When you do that, you'll align your foot to the target, and all you need to do from here is to extend, pull it back, and down, okay? So we'll do side kick in 4 counts, slowly. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, speed up. Carry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, facing the front, recover, and on. Was moving it. 2, 3, 8. Alright, so if you have made it to the point of this practice, congratulations. At this point in time, we have finished the warm-up stretching as well as the basic practice for our kicks and punches. We're going to go for a short break for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, wipe your sweat, get a sip of water if you want to. When we come back, we'll do some basic practice in sparring stance or fighting stance. Okay, see you in 2 minutes. Okay, you get it? Yes. If there are any comments or questions that you'd like to ask, please put them in the chat box. We'll try to answer to you as much as we can as we do this practice. Os.
scroll down, there's nothing. Yeah.
All right, we're going to start in a bit. So do your final stretches or your recovery. We'll start in about 30 seconds. Okay, welcome back. So like what we have done before were basics in terms of how to stand, how to punch and how to kick, alright? Be aware that in real life, when you do self-defense or when you do sparring for that matter, that is not how we would fight, or that's not how we would face the opponent, okay? Standing in sanchin, standing in parallel stance, in most cases, it's for practice purposes, okay? So that we can practice our basics without making things too complicated, alright? So in order to practice for actual self-defense or actual sparring, we will take up a different kind of stance, okay? The stance that we're going to do is what we call sparring stance. Sometimes people call it fighting stance, okay? But I prefer to call it sparring stance. Basically, when you face your partner and you're trying to test each other's technique, we call that situation sparring. We would stand in this particular way, okay? In Japanese, if you're interested, it's called kumite no kamae, okay? So to be standing in sparring stance, in Ashihara karate practice at least, by default, if you're being asked to stand in sparring stance, you have your left foot forward, your right foot to the back, okay? Generally, the length of your feet should be about 2 feet apart, okay? So if this is 1 foot, this is 2 feet, then your final foot position should be somewhere like this, all right? Some people like to measure it a bit more specifically. One of the ways you can do that is by dropping your knee, okay? And when you stand up, you should somewhat have the correct position, okay? Another way to measure it is, remember how you stood in sanchin stance, okay? If let's say you stood in left sanchin stance, it would be like this, right? Okay? If you turn your left foot outwards, you will have your sparring stance. So this is another way to gauge, okay? That is the length of your feet. The width of your feet should be somewhat tracing down the position of your shoulder. So this is my left shoulder. If I trace down, that should be my heel. This is my right. If I trace down, my heel or my foot will be there, okay? So the main idea is that you want to stand just wide enough so that you can somewhat balance sideways without exposing your groin too much, okay? So if I open up wider, my groin will be open, okay? And also you want to stand in a way that allows you to be mobile, okay? Because fighting sometimes is not static. You need to be able to move quickly. So stand in a way that it's relaxed for you. So that if you need to move, okay, you can just move front and back, up, backwards, forward, as and when you want, okay? So again, we will stand in kumite no kamae, or sparring stance, with the left foot forward, okay? So let's take up the stance first. Get your foot position correct. Alignment of the foot, have your front toes pointing forward. So in other words, wherever your opponent is, that's where your toes will be pointing. And your back foot 45 degrees to the right in this case. If you're standing in the other side, then your back foot will be 45 degrees to the left. Okay, but in this case, 45 degrees to your right. Okay, so this allows you to palms forward if you want to. And if your toes are pointing outside, the inside of your thighs will be open. This is quite a favorite spot for people to hit. Okay, so this is why we have our toes pointing more to the inside, okay, to protect the inside of our thighs as well as our groin. Okay, and last but not least, bend your knees so that the weight distribution is equal on both legs. Why? It's because we want to be able to move in all directions equally easily, okay, as compared to having one way at the back. We can move forward, but we can't move to the back, for instance, okay? So leg positions, I hope you're okay with that. Let's go to hand positions, okay? Hand positions, as a general guide, make a triangle with your hand and draw back your right hand. And that's basically, that's it, okay? So if your left foot is forward, your left hand is forward, and your right hand pretty much the same. By the way, there's a lot of noise outside, so if you're hearing a lot of funny noises, pardon me, it's quite an uncontrolled environment, okay? But I hope you can still hear my voice, okay? Okay, so anyway, this is the position of your hands, okay? You're going to be using your hands a lot later on in the practice, okay? So as a guide, do not keep your hand too close to yourself to the extent that you can't use your hand effectively. So leave some space between your hands and your body, okay? So gap between your body and your elbow, gap between your body and your elbow, okay? And this is the ultimate sparring position that I would like you to hold. Some people might be used to clenching the fist, that is fine. My personal preference is to open up the hands. This enables me to catch and grab and throw as easily as possible, okay? So this is the sparring stance, okay? Let's recover. All right. Okay, relax yourself first. Let's formally go into sparring stance, ready? Cross block, get ready. Hey, yes. Sparring stance, put your command. Yo, yes. Right, okay? We're going to practice some basic punches, okay, from sparring stance, as you would when you do sparring or maybe self-defense, okay? For the both of us, we don't have a lot of space over here. Let's move as far back as we can. We're going to do a bit of footwork. Let's learn how to move forward as efficiently as possible, okay? So on my counts, you're going to just move forward, okay, with 2 steps, okay? First step is with the front foot. Second step is with the back foot, okay? So that's your forward step. So again, when I say 1, step forward. If I ask you to move to the back, 1, back foot, and then front foot, okay? So stepping forward, stepping back, okay? All right, so if you don't have a lot of space, then just step forward and step back wherever you're in, okay? Let's do the step forward, okay? Ready, H, D, stepping back, H, D, forward, H, D, back, H, D, step pattern forward, H, D, H, D, H, D, H, D. See that? Some of you might realize that as you move, your guard starts to go lower, you begin to stand. Those are the things that you want to consciously check for yourself. Okay? So every time you find yourself doing that, quickly correct it and then continue the exercise. Okay? Let's do a few more of footwork. Ready? H, D, backwards, H, D, H, D, H, D, H, D, H, D. Alright? Good. Let's switch over to the other side. When we come to the other side, we call this reverse stance. It's basically the same sparring stance, but in the reverse side. Okay, in this case, the left side. Okay, so make sure all the basics are correct. Toes align the same way. Your knees are bent. Okay, hands at the correct position. Okay, same exercise. Forward, backwards. Okay, forward. H, D, back. H, D, forward. H, D, back. H, D, H, D, H. Feel the spring in your legs. H, D, H, D, H, D. If you find difficulty moving back and forth, that means you're too stiff. Okay, your leg should be like a spring or like a suspension of a car. Okay, it should absorb the shock of your movement. Okay, so keep it relaxed. Okay, as you move. Okay, backwards. H, D, H, D, H, D. Last set. H, D, H, D. Good. Change it. Good. We're going to move on to punches along with our footwork. Okay? Knowing how to move effectively is important because if you stand still and hit, you can only generate as much energy as you can. Okay? In order to generate more energy, sometimes we need additional movement. Okay? And that movement is through the use of our feet. Okay? So for the next practice, we're going to use motion in order to power up or speed up your punch. Okay. So the first one that you're going to do is a left straight punch. Okay. So from here, the left fist just extend straight. As you do this, do not lift up your elbow. So keep your elbow down. Punch straight, come back. Punch straight, come back. We're going to do it with footwork, like before. As you start with your left foot, you extend your left hand. As you pull back your left arm, you finish with your back foot in. One more time. 1, step back. 2, step back. Okay? I hope that's simple enough. Okay? We'll do this for 4 counts. Okay, just relax. Ready? H, back, B, back, sun, back, shade, back. I'll give you a second point to take note of. When you punch, the other hand, make sure you guard your chin. Okay? In sparring, sometimes as you attack, you're going to be attacked at the same time. So this is why subconsciously we have to keep our guards up. Okay? Let's try again with your other hand guarding up. Okay, ready? H, back, B, back, sun, back, shade, back. Okay? The final point I want you to add in is to coordinate your breathing. Okay? So as you extend your hand, like what you have been hearing me do, is to sharply exhale from your mouth. Okay? So basically, back, back, back. Okay? Let's try that. Here it is. H, back, B, back, sun, back, chin, and back. Good. Okay? Untie, change legs. Let's go to the reverse stance. You already know the basics. Okay? So step forward, right straight punch, breathe, guard up, and come back to recover. Here we go. H, back, B, back, sun, back, shade, back, go, back, rope, back, sit, back, touch, back, kill, back, juke, back, good. Okay, I'm done. Change leg. So back in, fighting stance. We are now going to speed up and understand that I say speed up and not power up. Okay? A lot of times when we say power up, you will start to become stiff, and when you become stiff, you become slow to move. Okay? And because you're slow to move, you're not able to generate the acceleration needed to generate a lot of force. Okay? So instead, what I would like you to do is to relax, focus on your breathing, and speed up. Don't worry about the power, because if you have the speed, the power is just an equation of that one. Okay? So this time, left straight punch, speed up. Okay? Relax. Ready? Hit. A. Sun. Shade. Go. Rook. Sit. Touch. Kill. Juke. Untie. Change face. Alright. Relax. Right straight punch. Hit. A. Sun. Shade. Go. Rook. Sit. Touch. Kill. Juke. Good. Untie. Change face. Alright. We're going to do 1-2 punch this time. Again, this is a simple combinations. Don't dismiss the exercise as being simple, therefore I don't have to do. Take the chance to tune or correct your basics, okay? So the 1-2 punch will look like this. Left foot with your left straight punch. As you draw in your back leg, you will launch your right straight punch. Once you're done, recover as a whole back to your sparring position, okay? One more time. Left foot, left hand. Right foot, right hand. If you notice, my back foot is twisted like this. Why do we do this? It's because it's to give us the extra reach, okay? By twisting our foot, I'm able to reach this point. If I plant my heel back, I lose quite a few inches, okay? Because I'm not able to reach as far, okay? This is why we twist our back foot. And also it helps to release my hip for me to generate that power needed for the punch, okay? So left right punch, 10 counts, do it slowly. Take it as a breathing exercise, coordinate your breathing, okay? Slow counts, 10, left right, H, B, sun, gaps up, shade, goes. Don't forget to breathe, look, sit, touch, two, 2. Okay? Speed up this time. So if you notice, forward, step back, forward, step back. Okay? Speed up for 10 counts really. 1, 8, 7, 8, go, rope, 6, 8, 9, 8. Good. Change legs. Okay? Let's go to reverse stance. Right, left, straight punch. 10 counts slow, relax, breathing, ready. 1, 2, 3, 8, go, rope, 6, 8, 9, 2. Alright, speed up this time, ready. 1, 8, 7, 8, go, rope, 6, 8, 9, 8. And thigh change legs, okay? We're going to do a 3 counts combination this time. The first one is going to be a right straight punch, okay? So your left foot is going to step, but there is no punch. The punch will only come when your back foot lands forward, okay? So back foot lands, this gives me the right straight punch. As I recover, and my left arm is coming forward, I will throw the left straight punch. So one more time. Left foot step, no punch. Right foot step, right straight punch. Right foot recover, left straight punch, okay? Basically, 1, 2, okay? The third punch is going to be a right hook punch, okay? So again, no punch, right punch, left punch, and then right hook punch, come back, okay? In this view, step, punch, punch, hook. Once more, step, punch, punch, hook. All right? A little bit on the hook punch basics. The target that you're trying to hit is here. So this is your opponent's head, for example. You just need to place your fist just next to the head and then hit it. There is no need for you to make a very big motion, for example, this way. Okay? So all you need to do is 1, 2, 3. Okay? So let's do this slowly. 3 counts. Right left straight, right hook. Slow. Ready. 1, 8. Remember to keep your guts up. Sign. Shade. Don't forget to breathe. Go. Rook. Sitch. Hutch. Cube. Jew. Good. Speed up this time. Speed up really. 1, 8, 7, 8, go, look, step back, sit, touch, kill. Yes, good job. And I change legs. Reverse stance. Again, right foot step, no punch, left foot step, left straight punch, right straight punch, left hook. 10 counts slow. 1, 8, 7, 8, go, rook, sitch, touch, cue. Relax your shoulders, cue. Alright. Ready to speed up? 10 counts. Ready. 1, 8, 7, 8, go. Step back. Rook. Sit. Touch. Cue. Good job. 5 stance. Another. Breathing itch. D, San, E. Yes. Good. We have done combinations for your punches. We're gonna now do combinations for your kicking. Okay? We'll go back to fighting start today. Good day, come on. Yo. Yes. Right. Yes. All right. So the first kick we're gonna do is low kick. Okay? Low kick basically is a round kick. If you remember from the first basic practice when we say round kick, it is a high round kick. Okay? All right. That is a round kick. Low kick is basically that kick aimed at the legs. Okay, so from here, using the same footwork as before, step forward with your right leg and perform a right low kick. Okay, if you can, after the low kick, pull it back. If you cannot, and you land forward, that's fine. Pull it back immediately after that. Okay, we'll do it slow, right low kick. Pitch. Back, A. Keep your hands up as you go. Sun. Shade. Okay, good. And down change legs. Left low kick. Pitch. B. Sun. Shade. And down change legs. This time, after the low kick, we're going to do a high kick. Okay? So from here, low kick. Make sure you land forward, okay, so that when you do the high kick, you're going to be covering some distance, okay? For example, if I'm going this way, low kick, and I land forward, and I do the high kick, I'll be covering this distance. If you don't do that, this is what will happen, okay? Low kick, you start at the same spot, high kick, okay? While I should be over there, I'm stuck over here, okay? So let's do right low kick and left high kick. Okay? 4 counts slow again. Focus on the correct form, breathing, relax. Okay? Get it right before we speed up. Right low kick, left high kick. Pitch. Back. A. Back. Start. Back. Shade. And back. All you need to do is speed up. Okay, speed up. H. Back. A. Back. Sun. Back. Shade. Go. Rook. Setch. Touch. Kill. Hey. That's good. And change legs. I hope you get it. What's important for doing combinations is you want to be able to use the momentum from the last movement to power up the next movement. What do I mean by this? Okay. If I'm going to do 2 kicks, okay, I want to be able to, I don't want to do this, okay? I don't want to kick, stop, there is no forward momentum, and then when I kick again, I'm starting afresh, okay? What I want to be able to do is, while I'm still having the forward momentum, I launch the second kick, which means forward momentum, and I launch my second one, okay? So this is what we mean by there is no wasted effort. Okay, we use the effort for the last one to power up the next one. Okay, so we'll do for the reverse side, but try to apply those principles in your techniques. Okay, we'll do left low kick, right high kick. Okay, slow. H. A. Sun. Shade. Alright, relax, breathing, speed up. H. B. Sun. Keep your guts up. Go. Rook. Sit. Touch. Cue. Two. Yes. Fighting stance. And out there. Yes. Pause. Moving edge. Knee. Side. Hey. Yes. All right. Up to this point, we have finished the second part of today's session, which is basic techniques with movement. Okay. We're gonna go for a short break. During the break, if you have any questions, anything you're curious about the techniques and concepts you applied today, feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll try to get back to you. See you in 1 or 2 minutes time. Okay. Boss. Alright, we're going to start in about 30 seconds time, so wrap up whatever you're doing. See you back in 30 seconds. Okay, welcome back. If you're still tuning with us and you're still in practice, congratulations and thank you. This is, after all, your workout. You benefit from today's practice, and it's our pleasure to help you do that, okay, especially when you're trapped at home. Okay. So just a little bit of explanation of what we have done so far. If you remember, we started off today with some basic practice in Sachin stance. Basically, you kept still and you did some basic techniques, okay? You might realize that some of those basic techniques were translated into a sparring situation. For example, when we did agochi, or punching to the chin, we have told you that you remember to keep your elbows down, punch, and after you punch, you come back, okay? This is to build good habit when you come into sparring, to always remember to keep your elbows down when you punch and come back. Mainly for two reasons. Number one, your elbow will help to cover your ribs against any punches or kicks, so this is a good habit to have. And number two, by keeping your elbow down, you are able to use your whole body to power up the punches when you need to punch, okay, as compared to if you're just punching like this. A lot of the power is having to do with your shoulders, okay? Unless, of course, you are practicing a particular technique that requires you to lift up your elbow, okay? But otherwise, if you're doing like basic straight punches, always remember to keep your elbows down and do as you punch, okay? So those were the punches and kicks. We're gonna finish off today's session with some receiving techniques, okay? Of course, in karate, as well as in a lot of other combat sports, as much as you would like to hit somebody, kick and punch somebody, you would also need to expect them to hit you back, okay? And when when the opponent hits us back, we don't want to be a punching bag. Not all of us are strong as some other people, especially if you're a lot smaller in build, you don't have as much reach as the other person. You need to be able to receive the attack in a clever way, okay? And this is what we're going to cover right now, okay? I want you to stand in fighting stance. Okay, let's go to fighting stance formally. Ready? Hey, yes. Yo, yes. My tail. Yep. Okay. So this is your sparring position, right? So imagine somebody is going to give you a straight punch. Okay. Not everybody have a strong chest in order to just let the punch land to you. Think about this. It might not be a punch. Sometimes it might be a knife coming to you. It might be a stick striking you. So it might not be too practical or realistic for you to just receive it with your body without doing anything. Okay. In order to receive it, one of the basics we do, at least in the Ashihara system, is to rely on footwork. Okay. So basically, if Cheryl can partner you, when a punch comes to the chest, for example, we don't want to just stay there. We'll take a step back. Okay. By taking a step back, you see that I'm just barely missing the punch. All right. Even if I get hit by the punch, okay, I would have buffered the impact by quite a bit because I moved. Okay. So this is the first basic or fundamental that I would like you to practice, and we'll do it together. Okay. So from your fighting stance, do not move your back leg. You'll just need to move your front foot. Okay. So from here, just take a half foot back, weight on the back leg. As soon as you touch the floor, just bounce back forward. Okay. We'll do this slowly. Okay, ready? Pitch, big, sun, shake. Keep your hands up all the time. Go. Rock, sit, touch, cue, drew. Alright, let's practice the other side. Tianta, change legs. Reverse stance will be the same. Imagine the punch coming, just step back to avoid the punch. Pitch, big, sun, shake, go, rock, sit, touch, cue, drew. Tianta, change legs. Okay? Let's do some application on this one. If you have a partner with you, it's time to face a partner. If you don't have one, too bad, you will do it on your own. Okay? So I'm going to face Cheryl. I'm going to punch Cheryl. Cheryl is going to step back to just avoid the punch. Okay? Do nothing else, but just don't get hit. Alright? Okay, we'll start slow. Ready? Pitch, eight, side, shake, roll, roll, sit, touch, cue, drew. Alright? Okay, let's change over. Okay, ready? Pitch. Alright, important point is make sure your partner is able to actually hit you. Okay, ready? Eight, sun, shake, go, rock, sit, touch, cue, drew. Alright, good. As you do this, of course, it's a good habit to always keep your hands up for unexpected movements, okay, that's gonna hit you. Alright? So the next thing you're gonna do is that you have already avoided the punch. Of course, if you just keep avoiding, the opponent is always gonna keep attacking you. So for example, if she avoided once, I'm not just gonna come back. If I'm serious about hitting her, so I'm gonna go again, and again. Okay? I need to do something in order to prevent her, my opponent from hitting me again and again. So this is where I need to break the opponent's balance by redirecting his or her movement. Okay? So this is an example of how we can do it. Okay? So the first basic, of course, is to move away from the punch. So punch comes. Okay, distance is okay. Let's try again. So the first basic is to avoid the attack. The second one is to redirect the attack just before the opponent is able to pull it back. Okay? Realistically, the opponent will hit and then will come back, or they will attack again. So for example, she's going to retry again as soon as she's finished hitting. Okay? Alright, so again. Alright. So if I react too slowly, okay, I will not be able to do anything because she would have already recovered. Alright? Okay, so I'm too late. Okay, I need to be able to catch the time before she is able to pull back the hand. I need to be able to redirect and break the balance. Okay, for example. Okay, so instead of coming straight to me, I redirected the hand away. Okay, thank you. Alright. So imagine a punch is coming to your body. Move back to avoid a punch, just before the punch finishes, use your forearm to deflect it to your right in a circular motion and come back to firing stance. Okay, so one more time. Again. Again. And this technique is what we call soto. Okay, soto means from the outside, okay means to receive. Okay, so punch comes in, I receive it by moving back from the outside, I receive it inwards and then back up. Okay, let's do it for 10 counts slowly. H, B, sound, shi, go, rook, stitch, punch, Q, Ju. Okay, facing your partner. I'm going to punch, Cheryl is going to do soto again. Okay, slowly. H, B, sound, shi, go, rook, stitch, punch, Q, Ju. Okay, we're going to do a changeover. So right punch comes, go, H, B, sound, shi, go, rook. Try to hit stitch, punch, Q, Ju. Of course, as you redirect the punch, okay, you would have broken the balance quite a bit, and finally you can counter attack. Okay, so punch comes. Okay, so if I did not redirect and break her balance, she would have pulled back the punch. Okay, and by the time I punch, she's gonna recover and deflect mine. Okay, so my timing has to be just nice that before she retracts her punch, I'm able to receive and counter attack again. Alright, and back to my guards up. Let's try. Okay. Firing stance, step back, soto okay, step forward, right straight punch. Okay. Let's do it slowly. Ready. H, B, San, Shi. Alright, facing your partner. So Cheryl is going to attack, I'm going to receive and counter attack. Okay, ready. H, B, San, Shi, Go, Rook, Stitch, Touch, Q, Ju. Alright, let's do a changeover. My right punch, Cheryl's stepping back, so go get a right straight punch. H, B, San, Shi, Go, Rook, Stitch, Touch, Q, Ju. Good. What happens is opponent give a left straight punch. Okay. Of course, you can use the same technique. For example, left straight punch comes, step back, you do a soto kick. But understand that when you do that, you are making yourself to be in the inside position relative to your opponent, and the other hand could easily come in. Okay, so that's not very logical, okay, in this application. Okay, instead, what I would prefer to do if a left straight punch comes, I redirect the punch to the left, so that if she tries to counter attack, I'm able to check the shoulder. Okay, this means of redirecting is what we call gerambarai. Okay, so the technique is step back, your front hand swoop downwards and circle back up. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you remember where we did our basics practice, this resembles the gerambarai like this. 1, 2, 3. This is a lot more structured and stiffer as compared to this one, which is more relaxed. Okay, so let's do this one. Okay, focus slowly. H, B, San, Shi. All right, facing your partner. Left straight punch comes to the chest. Okay, when punch comes, I step back and redirect and counter attack next to the face. Okay, slow counter. H, B, San, Shi, Go, Rook, Stitch, Touch, Q, Ju. Alright, change over. Attacker left straight punch, receiver, step back, gerambarai, counter with a right straight. Okay, slow counting. H, B, sign, shade, speed up, go, broke, stitch, touch, twist your back foot, Q, Q. Okay, I know that. Let's get with H, B, sign, shade.
Yes.
Alright, and that's the end of our application practice in which you have applied the basics of footwork, starting with knowing how to stand properly, knowing how to step forward when you punch, knowing how to step back as you receive. You have also applied the basics that you did in the beginning in the form of Gerang Barai in order to learn how to perform this technique of Gerang Barai. In the full practice of our basics, actually, there is a Soto game practice as well, which will look like this. Okay, but we skip that in the interest of time. Okay, so that's it. That's gonna be our practice for today. Let's round up with some cooling down and stretching exercises. Okay, beginning with breathing. Breathing H, B. A lot slower this time. Breathe in through your nose, expand your tummy, hold it there. Breathe out through your mouth, contract your tummy. Again, in. Last one, B. Have your feet together, bend your knees. So have your knees apart, you can relax your hips. Okay, gradually relax and slow your breathing, but not forgetting to breathe, of course. Okay, good. Squat on your left, straighten out your right leg. So as you do this, try your best to flatten your left foot and have your right toe squatting up. As you get better with your flexibility, increase the distance between your feet. Alright, change. Continue to focus on your breathing. Increase the stretch as you go. This is the best time to push yourself for your stretching because your body is absolutely warmed up and your muscles are a lot more flexible. Alright, good. Okay, sit down, tuck in your feet. Okay, as you pull your feet, straighten your back. Okay, bring your chest to your feet, breathe in, and okay, up. Okay, for the legs. Okay, and sit up. Okay, come to the kneeling position. Sit up tall. Clench your fists, place them in front of your, on top of your laps. Okay, close your eyes. So, okay, focus on your breathing. Full breath in, hold it there. Full breath out, hold it there. Relax. Okay, thank you for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed today's class. For those who have joined us today, thank you for making the time. The benefit is all yours. And if you're joining us for the first time, congratulations, you made it through. I hope it's not too difficult for you to follow today. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop us an email at ashiharakarate.sg@gmail.com or just leave a comment below. We'll try to answer it to you. What you have seen today is pretty much what we do for elementary class when you come over to join us for practice. So this is a good preview to see if you like what we do. If you do, feel free to come and join us when The karate practice is physically open again. Okay. I hope you have a safe time wherever you are. We hope to continue this again in the weeks to come, and when we do feel free to come and join us. All right. See you again. What's this?